Hi everyone, great pleasure to see so many of you here today and thanks for joining. I'm Darren, I'm the CEO and one of the founders of ZeroLight, and my personal background is from the games industry. So I'm a 20+ year veteran of driving and racing games, and about 10 years ago we founded ZeroLight to bring that engagement from the real-time world into the world of car buying. I'm joined today by Matt Clay, and Matt's from the other end of the spectrum. He's actually from the world of traditional bricks and mortar automotive retail, and Matt will be doing the main part of the webinar today. So first of all, it falls down to me to do some quick housekeeping. We'll be presenting for about 30 minutes. If you have any questions, there's a questions box in the bottom right-hand side of the screen. If you type them in, we'll answer them if we can during the webinar. We've got a team working on that. And if not, we'll email you afterwards with the answers that you're after. We're also recording, so you'll get a shareable copy at the end once we've finished. You can feel free to share that social media with friends, etc., etc. So, returning to the title, what makes a configurator that converts? In getting your configurator right today is fundamentally, it's a multi-billion-dollar decision. So really what I wanted to do is to start with a controversial thought for the day, and that is, at least mentally, consumers are buying cars online today. It's just that the buy it now button is in a dealer. All decisions tend to be made online. Google says there's 900 digital touch points prior to somebody purchases a car. And this presents the biggest opportunity, I believe, in our industry today. You can convert your online configurator from a cost center that it is currently actually into a profit center. And as I was saying earlier, if you get this right, the rewards are impressive. The really sad thing is most OEMs spend less money on the configurator than they do in setting up one dealer. And yet it's the configurator and your website where people are making most of the decisions, or at least have the potential to. Now, why this is important is that basically it's hard times. Profit margins are being squeezed back to levels that we haven't seen since 2010. But in this austerity, you always get opportunity. And the opportunity here is you can actually cut your costs, so reduce your cost of sales, but also give your consumers a way better experience because of the power of real time. And this is because fundamentally, digital channels have transformed car buyer behavior, with less than 1/3 of customers actually visiting a dealership to begin their research. And where are they doing that research? Where are they getting those answers? They're fundamentally getting them online. So this shift has led to soaring customer expectations. 2/3 car buyers, as said here, are seeking out enhanced digital tools, and they want a better personalized purchasing experience. Now, this is a key battleground because people are judging the technology on your website as being representative of the technology in your product. And if you can't even do a decent website, people are also going to think that the actual tech in your vehicle is equivalent. So fundamentally, customers need these tools in the world of the modern car buying experience for reassurance and education. So what's actually happening is fundamentally there's new EV brands coming to the market with different offerings. You have traditional OEMs producing new EV vehicles, and people need the education. They need to understand what each and every upgrade is and the benefits that they offer them online. So what we've done today is took our experience from the last 10 years and come up with the 4 key questions that we always get asked whenever we engage with an automotive OEM. And in those 4 key questions, we always see this one first and foremost, which is, hey, we have a static image 2D configurator. Should we move to interactive 3D? Once they've addressed that question, the next question they come up with is, hey, I would like to have interactive 3D. Do I do WebGL or do I do 3D cloud streaming? The next question is, how do I expand my configurators reach? How do I actually go out and grab people wherever they're hanging out and bring them to my configurator? And finally, I hear a lot about the connected customer journey, personalized to the consumer. How do I actually need to do that? And really, a high-performance omni-channel configurator should be able to address all of these needs. Fundamentally, reduce the cost of sales, help boost conversions. So what I'm going to do is fundamentally these 4 questions, and the answers to these 4 questions forms the basis of our webinar today that Matt will be taking you through. ZeroLight has done all of these different areas, and we're going to be sharing data that backs up the opinion, and hopefully this will also accelerate your own decision-making process. But first of all, we're going to kick off with a little bit of audience participation, which is really aimed around a poll question, which is, what is your configurator's primary objective as you sit here today? So what you do is you've got the poll that appears on the screen, you click on one of the buttons, I'll do the same, and submit your vote. And then if you click on the bottom right-hand side on polls, you should see the results. So thanks for clicking away. We'll just give it a few seconds for people to find the poll and do it. So it looks like it's changing still a few votes coming in, but fundamentally, lead generation is popular. How do you entice somebody into your ecosystem? Obviously, engaging customers and direct e-commerce sales is featuring more and more. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to hand over to Matt, who will actually take you through the main part of today's webinar, addressing these 4 key pillars. Thanks a lot, Matt.
Fantastic. Yes, thank you, Darren. And hello, everybody. As Darren says, I'm Matt. It's a pleasure to be presenting to you today. And as Darren alluded to, one of the most common questions that we get asked is, if I want to be providing a configurator that converts, should I be featuring interactive 3D or instead using static image 2D? Now, we all know that the customer experience is super important in your buying journeys. It's no longer just that nice to have. It's already having a direct impact on your bottom line. So we see here, 80% of car buyers agree that the OEM website experience is having a direct impact on their final purchasing decisions, which is incredible. And we should probably take a moment just to appreciate that. 80% of car buyers believe that your website experience has a direct impact on whether they'll buy a car. So you have to be doing everything that you possibly can to influence that decision. So let's check out exactly what that could look like. And to answer this 2D versus 3D question, we know that it's not practical to give everybody an interactive 3D experience all of the time, which is where this high quality 2D static image turntable has a really valuable role to play. They're super cost effective and customers can explore your vehicle with high quality 2D images beginning their configuration journey. So as you can see, they can move around the vehicle, get a feel for it. They can add accessories like we just saw with those roof bars, and they can even access high quality environments. And then you should be leveling up the experience by bringing in interactive 3D. So here you can see that the same digital twin is now available in an interactive 3D experience. And it's a big difference to those static images we were just looking at. So here, your customers have the freedom to explore the details and the features that they care about most and visualize them in high quality with real-time ray tracing technology. And we see that in action right now, just looking at these diamond cut alloy wheels with the environment reflected in them, just as they would do in the real world. And as your customers are in control of this whole experience, it means that they can focus on the areas that are most important to them. In the modern car, we know that connectivity is critical. So here, a customer can zoom in and explore exactly how they can plug in their phone. And they can also check out other areas that are important to them and zoom in and explore in full detail things like the leather grain and even the stitching that show the craftsmanship of your vehicles. To critically help customers feel reassured that the choices they're making are the right ones for them. So let's check out how this interactive 3D experience compares to a static image configurator. And as I mentioned, you should be making your configurator convert that 80% of customers that believe that their experience has an impact on their final decisions. And we've seen huge performance increases by bringing interactive 3D versus the static image configurator, with 36% more time spent exploring your vehicles, which is really important when we consider that point that Darren shared earlier about customers looking out for reassurance, particularly as we transition into new drivetrains and EV technology. And we're seeing that 34% more configurations are selected in an interactive experience, enabling customers to explore the features of your vehicles, including those basket value drivers, such as accessories. And there's a massive 65% increase in call to action clicks. Now, these CTA clicks could be anything from test drives, meaning your customers can go on to experience your vehicles in person. It could be an increase in personalized takeaways, enabling you to capture hot leads. And importantly, it could be a 65% increase in reservations for your vehicles. And we've also seen a 7% increase in the reservation values by enabling your customers to control their experiences. Now, these are all impressive conversion stats. However, let's check out where this then goes. And here we see an interactive 3D cinematic driving configurator experience that's currently live with Mitsubishi, meaning their customers can continue to configure the vehicle as it drives through this mountain pass. And they could do things like add those key upsell items such as accessories. So here we see those roof bars again in action. And as you see, cinematic driving catapults the experience to the next level. It's phenomenal and really creates that wow moment for your customers. Now, let's see how you combine all three of these different experiences together with all the cars in your range to create experiences that are both cost effective and help your bottom line. And to achieve this, we begin with those cost-effective 2D static images. And here we're tracking anonymized user behaviors at up to 10 times per second throughout the buying journey. And what we're doing is matching these behaviors to people that have converted previously, meaning you can intelligently upgrade and level up their experience to interactive 3D experiences like we just saw. And by giving your customers control, we saw those key uplifts in performance metrics. So we continue to monitor those same user behaviors to spot further opportunities to, again, level them up, very much mirroring how the gaming industry drives engagement. Meaning you can delight them further with, for example, that interactive cinematic driving configurator. And not only does this elevate the customer's experience, but in leveling them up again, you're also driving even higher value conversions. Now, whilst I can't share the performance results with you, what I can say is if you thought that the interactive 3D stats that we just shared are impressive, then I can tell you if you want a configurator that converts, you should be exploring cinematic driving. So to conclude our first recommendation, we believe that you should be prioritizing these interactive 3D experiences, whilst 2D should be used as that powerful and really cost-effective qualification tool. And by taking this approach, you're going to unlock those performance lifts that we saw in time and configurations that have been completed. We saw that massive increase in onward call to action clicks, and also those increases in your overall reservation values. Now, another question that we get asked a lot is, how should I best approach a 3D configurator experience? Should I be streaming it from the cloud, or should I instead be building out a WebGL application? And as we just saw with 2D versus 3D, it's not as straightforward as just choosing one or the other, because we believe it's a case of identifying when to use each of these technologies at the right part of your customer journey. So what do we mean by that? Well, let's bring back that buying journey that we just covered, showing how you can level up the experience from 2D to 3D and then onto that cinematic driving experience. And our recommendation is to use WebGL at the start of the funnel and again at the end of the funnel. And this means that at the start of the funnel, you should be using WebGL on places like your product landing pages or your information pages, but critically before the customer starts to actually configure. And here we believe WebGL is a great tool to begin this sticky journey, enabling your customers to understand the basics of your vehicles, exploring things like their form, their function. And then at the end of your customer experience, WebGL should be used again as a conversion reward. So you might be asking, why are we recommending this particular approach? Well, it's because pretty much 9 out of 10 people believe that the experience in the buying journey is as important as the product. So we're not here to provide a 3D experience. We're here to sell high-value products. And if you give a basic experience with low-quality 3D, then we see that customers will think it becomes representative of your product. So you need to be matching the quality and the innovation of the products that you're producing within your configurator. Okay, so you've been listening to me for a little while now, and actually it's a great opportunity to bring back in some audience participation and really help bring to life the comparisons that we see between WebGL and cloud streaming. So let's start with a WebGL experience and really bring it to life. And as we saw, this might be a WebGL experience that's used on a product landing page, or it could be the takeaway at the end of your experience. And if you do have an iPhone, a phone to hand, an iPhone particularly, I'd recommend if you turn on your camera and if you just scan the QR code, and I'll just do the same here, then you'll be able to start your WebGL experience. So if you scan that QR code, it should bring up a page. And if you tap the top right of the page, then you'll be able to bring the WebGL experience to life. And as we see in the video, if you just click the object filter just at the top here, hopefully you can see that, then you can start to explore this WebGL model for yourself. And you'll see that, it's a great experience. It's good fun. I'm exploring, I'm playing around with it. It enables me to understand the form and the functions that we spoke about earlier. WebGL is a great use for this particular use case, and fantastic when it's used, like we said, at the start and the end of your buying journey. However, when you get into your configurator, you want to be moving to cloud streaming to support an incredibly high quality, interactive 3D configurator experience. So here we see the same model that we just explored in WebGL, this time being streamed directly from the cloud. And as you saw, it was instantly available without the need to download any application. And as you can see with cloud streaming, we get this huge boost in visual quality and complexity with every single possible configuration for all of your markets globally, including any accessories. And then as we see, you can level up the experience, treating your customers to experience the features like the aerodynamics of your vehicles and other key elements. So you should be using cloud streaming to provide high quality configurator experiences to really reflect the quality of the products that you're selling. Okay, so this table is summarizing the reasons why cloud streaming really is the better option for the configurator itself. And we see some key benefits ranging from how quickly the user can access the experience. And as we just saw, there is no need to download any of this to my personal device. We experience that huge upgrade in visual quality, truly representing the quality of your products. And it supports full configurability, including any available accessory, which, as we saw from the metrics earlier, this supports things like time on site and, critically, those increased reservation values. You also have access to additional content modes, and we'll come on to explore some of these shortly. And crucially, it means that you benefit from a scalable upstream model pipeline. Okay, so your configurator's primary purpose is to drive these high-value decisions. And ever increasingly, we're seeing that the customers are making decisions on the quality of your products based on the quality of your website customer journey. So here, our recommendation is to blend WebGL and cloud streaming, playing to their strengths. We see WebGL's most appropriate use case is at the top or the bottom of the funnel, creating that really sticky moment in your customer experience. And then the quality and the capabilities that we just saw in cloud streaming is what will truly engage and convert your customers within the configurator itself. Okay, so if you're going to maximize your conversions, then you need to be taking your configurator to reach more of your customers. And it's incredible to see that 67% of car buyers won't visit your OEM website before making their purchase. So that's over 2/3 of your customers never experience your configurator. And if we overlay that massively fragmented digital journey that Darren spoke about earlier with those 900 different digital touch points, then it's clear that you need to be maximizing visibility for your configurator. So if you find that your configurator is currently hidden away, how can you take it directly in front of your prospective customers? Well, you need to be able to move this experience around the internet. And the beauty of a cloud stream configurator is that you can do just that, taking your configurator directly to where your prospects are spending their time online by transporting it to popular online destinations, as we see here with Amazon. And you can achieve significant lifts in both reach and conversions. So here we see Mitsubishi launching their Outlander on Amazon, taking their configurator directly to where their customers. And it came with impact. One of the KPIs was to book a test drive, and the target for the whole campaign was reached within a month. You should also be taking your configurator experiences to social media directly into the feeds of your prospective customers. So what we're seeing here is the configurator experience is now in-app on Facebook as an instant experience, as Cadillac were launching their brand new EV, the Lyriq. And they wanted to increase reach, bringing the configurator experience directly to their prospects. So where better than social media? Using the same high quality visuals, you can create these cost-effective experiences that help reach the new audience and then critically bring them back to your configurator on your website to convert them. And beyond the online destinations and the social media feeds that we just saw, you should be looking to adapt your configurator to maximize conversions by transforming it into a remote sales tool, as we see here. So you can join your product experts with your customers in a shared session to complete highly personalized and guided configuration experiences that help address that topic of reassurance that we talked about earlier, enabling customers to explore the best options for them. And this kind of experience has been shown to double the likelihood of customers reserving a vehicle. And for those customers who do plan on visiting your retail stores and your dealerships, 30% have said they'd be interacted by in-store virtual reality experiences. So again, you should be adapting your configurator to draw people into your stores and enable them to immerse themselves in your products using highly innovative cloud technology such as XR. Delivering these wireless VR experiences make them highly accessible and enable you to reach and engage with these particular customers. And why not enhance the search experience? As Darren mentioned earlier, we know that 2/3 of customers begin searching online. So you should be maximizing your reach at this very early stage with popular engines like Google. So here we have another example of integrating your WebGL models at the upper funnel, enabling your customers to explore your vehicle in their own spaces. So as we see here, whether that's an office environment, whether that's back at home, being able to visualize it on their driveways, they can then share it with friends and family, again, widening your reach. And then that should bring them into your configurator. So if you want to be converting more customers, then you need to be taking your configurator experiences directly to your customers wherever they may be. And as we saw with Volkswagen, you should be repurposing it to become your remote sales tool. Okay, now finally, we have to understand how your configurator can connect seamlessly into your customer journey to multiply conversions. And we know that customers are expecting seamless and personalized experiences throughout the customer journey, with 70% of customers willing to spend more money as a result of these connected experiences, which makes sense, not having to start again as you transition between different touch points. So to achieve this, you should be harnessing the power of the data that's currently being captured in your configurators. Because we know that in today's world, data really is everything. So you need to be introducing a system to actually use the data as effectively as possible by collecting, storing, and then bringing those insights across your connected journey. And a cloud-based configurator is the key tool in your arsenal to achieve this. With the power to track anonymized customer behaviors at up to 10 times a second, we can see here in real time exactly what that looks like. So on the left-hand side, you'll see the customer's cloud-streamed configurator. And because it's cloud-streamed, it means that it could be accessed anywhere across any device. So this could be a mobile, a laptop, it could be in your dealers, or as we saw earlier, it could be anywhere across the internet, including Amazon. And what you'll see is that every action that's being completed in the configurator is being plugged directly into your CRM platform that we see on the right-hand side. This enables you to store it securely, but crucially, it means you can build these super rich insights of configuration choices. So you can see here, we've got paint choices, we've got the wheel options, and even the various interiors. And you can zoom in to explore incredible detail, like how long they're spending on each of their individual choices. Meaning this is the data that can then be used across your customer experience. And it's super insightful when we view it as an individual customer CRM record. But you should also be using this data to inform business intelligence decisions. So here we're zooming out to get a really rich, holistic overview for how your customers are engaging with your brand digitally around the globe. And as I said, this information should be informing strategic business intelligence decisions. So on the left-hand side of the screen, and this is a Tableau dashboard, there are other business intelligence systems available. But what we can see is a leader table of the most popular configurations. So for example, your retail operations teams can understand the next best alternative configurations to be able to offer to customers if there are certain elements that are out of stock. At the bottom, we can see geographical regions of where customers are accessing these experiences. So again, your marketing teams this time can be using this information to inform their campaigns. And we can really drill into the configurations that we see across the middle, such as things like the paint options. So your product teams, for example, can be using this information to inform future model year updates. So this data-driven approach enables you to personalize the customer experience, but also address those strategic challenges and identify some of the opportunities to drive more of your conversions. So if we zoom back in again to those individual personalized insights, you can now start to build out the connected customer experience. So here you should be using the data that's being gathered to build out an automated and personalized CRM strategy that means you can deliver these highly personalized touch points, whether that's emails or exactly as we're seeing right now, a personalized microsite. And that means you can showcase to your customers the features and functions from their exact configuration in much further detail with call out features like we see here, such as hybrid technology, and really help drive them towards conversion. So, as we said, data really is everything. And you should be devising a system to plug your configurator and the data that it's capturing into your customer journey to really unlock the full power of everything that's been generated by collecting, storing, and then actually using these insights to help deliver a data-driven approach that's proven to convert more of your customers. So that concludes our final recommendation. You should absolutely be harnessing the configurator data to connect your buying journey. And with that, I'd like to welcome back our CEO, Darren, who will take you through the final part of our webinar. Thank you.
Many thanks, Matt. Definitely some food for thought there. So I think now would be a good time to return back to these original 4 challenges, these 4 pillars, and look individually in the summary of what we recommend. And the first one is obviously static image versus 3D. So we say prioritize 3D for the buying decisions, but use cheap, low-cost cloud 2D static images as your qualification tool. Look at their behavior in 2D, then decide when you want to invest in that person when they have a propensity to buy. The next question is, okay, so you've decided you want a 3D interactive. Is it going to be web streaming or is it going to be WebGL? So our recommendation is you should always be streaming your configurator from the cloud and really complement non-configurator touchpoints using WebGL to help with engagement. In terms of extending the reach of your configurator, fundamentally, you need to put your configurator out on LinkedIn, on Amazon, on Facebook, on Instagram. You need to grab the people where they're hanging out, engage them on that platform, and then when they're ready, bring them back to you to convert. And then finally, how do you create this connected customer journey? I think it's what McKinsey calls personalization at scale is the holy grail of marketing. Well, really, you do that via the power of data. Every single digital touch point, you should be gathering what the consumer is doing anonymously, feeding it back into the system and using that to personalize the whole experience. And when the customer gives you permission, what you should also be doing is using things like smart codes to be able to personalize that whole experience. So there, in summary, are the findings with the data to back it up. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, that's great, but this is all incredibly hard to do. It looks like a massive task to actually make this a reality. So what we've actually done is, this gentleman here is Dave Hawes. He's our Executive Director of Client Solutions. And using the ZeroLight platform, Dave, in this webinar, is actually going to show you how it's done within 30 minutes and within 100 lines of code. So if anybody on this call is technical, if you have any technical people within your company who would like to see how that's done, Ben has very kindly put up the link there. You can register for the webinar. There's 3 different time slots. And you can just see how really with the tools that are currently available, you can actually do this yourself and you begin to get some of this level of engagement that we've talked about. All the data, if somebody's wondering, hey, where does all this data come from that you've been mentioning? There's actually an official report that you can download via the following link. And certainly if you've enjoyed today's webinar, if it's given you some food for thought, please share it on social media. Say you enjoyed it if you enjoyed it. And by all means, feel free to share the recording with friends and colleagues. Similarly, if anybody would like additional details, I know we've been very busy on the questions front. They're keeping on coming in. I can see them there. They're coming in. We'll answer them. Any that we didn't get to, we'll pick up afterwards. So all it remains for me to do is to thank you, first of all, for coming. To thank my colleague Max and Ben for being the person in the background, making it all happen, and to say many thanks, best of luck. Really, the opportunities are there. Go out and grab them. Cheers. Thank you.